Hey Toys and Collectible fans, Fly Guy for TekSushi, giving you a look at this Marvel Select Spider-Man. One 6-inch figure that's just absolutely rocking. So it's based on the movie version that we've just seen in cinemas this year, 2012. Marvel Select Amazing Spider-Man. Not much else to show you in the packaging, it's all really pretty empty. There's not even any kind of design on the back of it. It's a very simple web kind of like effect. So nothing much going on there. On the back we do get a picture of Spidey, who's rather cool, it has to be said. And a bit of text which basically talks around how Spidey got bitten by a radioactive spider, etc, etc, etc. So there's also a variation on the figure, which is an unmasked Spider-Man. At the price of this, I'm kind of not quite sure why they couldn't have included a swap-out head. But it didn't actually cost that much, to be fair. It was only about $16. I got this from Amazon and got it shipped here to Australia literally for about $4 or $5, so dirt cheap. The Lizard is apparently a very cool looking figure as well in the Marvel Select range, so if you see him, pick him up. He does look pretty good. I've seen him once in a comic shop, only for it to fly out the store, so there we go. So nothing else really on the packaging to show you. It's all pretty standard stuff. It's nothing to write home about. Inside we get a Marvel licensed product brochure from Diamond Select Toys. Inside we get a look at some of the previous ones, the Hulk, Iron Man, Hawkeye and Spidey. I have to say the others do not do it for me at all, including Lizard and Ultron, who I've seen in a store as well, and doesn't really cut it for me. They're not bad, but when you compare them to the size of the 3 3/4, the 3 3/4 is actually, to my mind, better in some ways for some of them, but Spider-Man is breaking the mold. On the back they have these god-awful mini-mates. I'm sorry guys, they are trash. Do not like them one bit. They're trying to be Kubricks, but they just ain't, so it doesn't work for me. And of course that's all you get in the pack. Apart from this kind of very bizarre stand that comes with this. It's almost a little bit warped in the middle. You can see the plastic and the way it's been done, it's kind of uneven, so you get a very weird kind of canopy and display here with 2 peg holes on the wall. Now that's going to be very hard to display this Spider-Man on, and you're not displaying it that way. So I'm really not quite sure what's going on with this display. You can display Spidey, don't worry, we'll show you in a second. You can display him posed like that, but again, why the peg holes? If I was to pin him on there, it just would look a little odd, don't you think? Anyway, there's the stand, not much to write home about. It's an air conditioner, a window, a couple of pegs. If anyone knows what the hell these stands are for, please tell me, because it doesn't make much sense to me. Maybe I'm just completely missing it and getting it wrong. On the back it allows you to put a hook into the wall if you wanted to and hang this up, and that's about it really. So there you go, that's the exciting backdrop. I'd have rather had something else other than this personally, but yeah, there you go. So the figure itself is rocking it, and I wouldn't have bought this if it wasn't for a good friend of mine, Eddie. Thank you Eddie for recommending this, because this thing is the nuts. It's absolutely awesome. The articulation on it, the paintwork, it's just excellent. Really well done. So you can just see the Spider-Man emblem on his chest. It's very much a pale blue, so even though it's like the movie, it's kind of not like the movie, so it's kind of bizarre hybrid. It does have the yellow lenses, which is reminiscent of the movie, but I think basically Diamond Select have just used his standard Spider-Man kind of mold rather than one that's for the movie, and just retrofitted it all off. But it does the job. It certainly looks cool. The paintwork is well applied, but it's the articulation on this sucker which is just out the park. Now to be fair, if the paintwork really was to be something else, you would have almost silver tipped boots or booties, because that's what he has in the movie. Instead we just get red, and it does come with those 2 peg holes, but so the paintwork, not quite sure what's going on in the feet, and that blue is just not quite reminiscent. In fact, you can even see it on the pack. That dark blue is nowhere next to that light blue, so a very different shade. But look, I'm not complaining. The actual Spider-Man itself is pretty epic, and again the posability on him is just excellent. He comes with a couple of extra, which I've done with him somewhere, a couple of extra hands. Now you can have either 2 fists or 2 Spidey kind of devil's tails, whatever you want to call them, devil's wings. So there you go, there's another one there. Rock on. And 1 fist, fight the power. So you can swap them out, and I've chosen in this case to have a fist in one hand and a bit of a Spidey web in the other. In terms of articulation on this guy, he's got a ball jointed head, and that gives a fair bit of rotation on him. He has ball joint with a hinge on the shoulders, on the biceps as well, on the elbow, and the forearm swivels there, which is basically because of the removable arm, and you get this double jointed hinge on the arm too. So not only does the wrist rotate, the forearm rotate, but you get this swivel on the hinge. You've got an upper torso which is articulated, a little bit limited, but it does move, and two ball joint with a hinge on the thighs, double joints on the knees, and you get these epic ball jointed ankles, which really allow super posability, which is just making this figure kick ass. So one really cool figure, has to be said, and just loving it. So thanks to Tip Eddie, and yeah, if you want to pick this up, there'll be a link directly underneath. You can get this from Amazon.com. I'm sure you guys in the UK, I'll try and find a link for that, and I'm sure it's probably likely the same probably for Amazon.de and other countries, but certainly the stock will more likely be UK and US based. So there we go, Marvel Select, one rather cool Spider-Man, amazing Spider-Man figure. Let us know what you think in the comments below or on Facebook.com/TekSushi. And make sure you're subscribed right above Spidey's head. Lots and lots of cool reviews coming up. Literally every 40 hours we've got a cool review for you coming from somewhere, myself, DC or FX friends. So stay tuned, more coming up. Cheers.